Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Blooms and Brushstrokes. This is my watercolor journey painting channel. So thank you to all of you for joining me here. For those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you see and stick around, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the tutorials and everything that I have going on here. For those of you that are returning, thank you so much for being such a loyal following and community for me on this platform. It's been totally incredible to have you guys all involved and commenting and sending me supers and engaging and sending me your artwork and tagging me on Instagram. This is absolutely wonderful, and I love it so very much. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for all that. And yeah, today we are actually going to be painting a vintage inspired floral card because I have to go to a wedding on the weekend, and their theme is a little bit vintage. So I was thinking, hey, this is a cool opportunity to try something a little bit different that I haven't done yet. So yeah, we're gonna sketch it out again, just kind of like the last tutorial. We're gonna do a quick sketch, because I think this can be a very easy tutorial. Quick sketch, and then we're gonna carry on and get into the painting. So for today's tutorial, we are going to be using the Mungyo paints, number 8 Aqua Elite Princeton round long brush, the number 1 script brush as usual, and our number 10-0 liner brush. This one, my cat chewed the end of it, but it still works just fine. So we're going to be using those. We are going to be using the gold Speedball calligraphy ink. We are also going to use the gold Windsor and Neptune ink. The reason I'm using both of them is because one's really yellowy and one's more bronzy or brassy, I should say. Bronze? Yeah, bronze. No, brass. Anyways, the two of them together I think will look really great in this card. I have it in my head what I think we'll do. I have not practiced this. We're all doing it together for the very first time. So bear with me. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead with that. And yeah, I'm just going to apologize before we get going. We're in a bit of a heat wave here where I live. It's probably already 28 degrees out. It's 8:30 in the morning and I don't have AC, so I'm sweating. My hair, it won't even stay dry because it's so humid. So I apologize for probably looking a little bit disheveled. And but that's how she goes. And I really promised myself, and I promised my community that this year I was gonna stick through all the tutorials all summer long. Or as long as I mean, unless I take a holiday or something like that. But actually, on that note, I'm not entirely sure I'll get one done for next week. I'm going to try really hard, but there's a possibility I may not, because I'm doing hair for this wedding and then I'm actually attending the wedding. And I just have a few things on the go next weekend. However, if I have time throughout the week, I will absolutely record a video. And if I don't, then I'll definitely get some shorts in. So there may be a skip over a week here, but for the most part, I plan to stick with you guys. I know last summer got away on me because my ex and I split up. And anyways, this summer, I'm planning to stick with it, even through the busy of summertime here, and carry on with doing the tutorials every week. So my plan is to do one for next week, but I do know that it's gonna probably be a little bit crazy for me because of this wedding that I will be working on the Saturday and then going to the wedding and whatnot. Anyway, without further ado, let's get cracking. So get all your supplies. So Mungyo paints, your inks, your paint brushes, your blotting towel, activate those paints. Let's get going, you guys. I have my pencil. This is not the normal one. I should actually grab some, but this is just a pencil that I have because I can't find my other sketching one, but we're using just this to do our quick sketch. So don't sketch out too darkly. This pencil will be a bit darker so you guys can see what's up for the sketch. But in my head, I have this visual of coming up the side with some retro flowers and some greenery, and then leaving up here. So we're going to start down here with a circle. I'm not going to push too hard. And then we're going to do some big petals. So this is a retro style, vintage style. Remember that. So we don't want it to be, we just want it to look a little bit vintagey, I guess, is more what I'm saying. So the goal of this is to look that way. So we'll put a few of these flips over here by adding in that extra line work. It gives the look of the flower petals having some movement to them. So then we're going to go up here and we're going to do a little daisy-like flower. So we'll do a center as well. And then the daisy just like so. So for their wedding, I just did her hair and a trial. And so they're really loving up the yellows and oranges. And that's the theme that she likes, the retro vintage theme. And I think that's awesome. So we're going to do those colors for this today. And then I think one more, actually I'm going to do one more down here. This pencil is not the greatest. I got to get a new one. There we go. A few more petals on this one. We can even put a few in the background. Now just remember, as usual, we do the detail with our ink afterwards. And I think up here we'll do a little one. Just a little gaffer up there. And then for the background, we're going to put in just some long looking grass type greenery, and we'll do a little bit of line work in that. So we're going to just come up behind here and do something just like so. Bear with me, you guys. I have not done a trial before doing this, so bear with me. While we make this come to life. I think we'll go like so. Just like that. I think that's probably pretty good. I mean, we can add a lot more detail into these if we want to. More movement. There, I think that's pretty good, you guys. So just like that, we have a cute little card sketched out perfectly. I think that's going to be wonderful. So before I get put to painting, I am going to go lift up some of that dark pencil with this kneadable, I always forget the name of it, but today I'm nailing it, this kneadable eraser. We're just going to pick up some of those dark lines. Oh, I should have taken a picture first, but I'll get one here. It's still going to be dark. That pencil is not forgiving, but we're going to do the line work. So, okay, so in the theme of vintage, if you guys can imagine some of that yellowy orange 70s retro artwork, that's what we're going to go for. So I'm going to mix, so we're using the Mungyo paints. Yeah, I like that. We're going to mix some of the, get this out, the burnt sienna with the vermilion. Burnt sienna and vermilion. Or actually, we'll go with just the orange. Burnt sienna and the orange, we're going to mix those together to get that nice retro orangey color. So we're going to use that for the orange, and then for the yellow, we're going to use the yellow, straight yellow, and we're going to mix that with a little bit of the burnt sienna as well. Not too much, just enough to kind of make it feel a bit more like that vintage yellowy orange. I can just imagine this in my, my grandparents' kitchen or something. I don't know. I can see the colors that I'm trying to establish here. Okay. I've got them mixed up there. And then for the greenery, we're going to mix up some of the olive brown, olive green with some of the dark green. Yes, that'll be beautiful. Lovely. That's a great color. And we're going to want to dilute it down quite a bit. All right, so those are predominantly my three colors we're going to mix or we're going to use. I may throw in some dots of just the yellow, some dots of the orange, some dots of dark or whatever to get these colors, but those are my mixed colors. So you can see, doesn't that already look retro? I think it does. I think it does. So we're going to start with this greenery in the background or the foliage. Get lots of water on your brush, you guys. We don't want to be too bold. And we're going to start by putting, you know, a dot here, a dot here, a dot here of that mixed green. I'm also going to go in with some of the olive brown and put a couple dots of that, and that I used to mix this up. And a couple dots of the dark green. So I've got them all over my foliage because remember, we're going to do the detail with the Micron pen and the metallic. So we're going to go in now, get that brush really wet, tap it off a couple times. We're going to start at the bottom with just adding water at the bottom, pushing down on the side, lifting up where it thins out, and then coming up into that greenery. So just like that, there may be a little bit of pooling, which if there is, you can go in and clean off your brush, dry off your brush as always. If you need to pick up any pools of water, just dry your brush off on your paper towel and go pick it up. But I think that looks really good. On this one here, I'm actually not going to use any of the dark green. The dark green's pretty bold, but I'm okay with it being on one, but I'm not okay with it being on all of them. So I'm going to use that mixed green that we had, put 4 beautiful dots of that down, and then some of the olive brown. For the next one, clean off your brush really good in between, tap it off a couple times. We do want it pretty saturated. Starting at the bottom and moving our way up. There's a lot of water on there. Excellent. I love how that one looks. And I've left a little bit of that negative space in there with that white. I think that's going to add some beautiful texture and some beautiful light into that piece of foliage. So we're going to work on these ones back here now. Again, our mixed green, we're using predominantly that one and the olive brown. I think those look pretty retro, so I like them. Start at the bottom. Now watch out for your flower there because you don't want to get too crazy in those petals because we're going to use a different color for that. Okay, this kind of looks a bit wonky. I'm going to add a teeny bit more of this in here. Okay, and then this back one with lots of that green and then the olive brown. And again, start at the bottom. It's okay if these bleed into each other because they're close together. Beauty. I think those look wonderful. And then just down here, I've just dragged some of, oh, this one kind of comes, this one does come down a bit. So we're going to just go in with that green that we mixed and fill in those pieces coming down. We'll be doing the line work, so it won't really matter. I think those look good. We're going to work on this one over here now. We're gonna start this one being yellow, predominantly yellows. So we're going to keep the middle white, and we're gonna go and put down a few dots of this yellow all around. And then I'm actually gonna go in with this straight yellow off my palette because that's what we use to mix in with this. Clean off my brush. Now I'm going to be able to do the majority of this flower all at once here. I think I'm actually going to add a bit more of this mixed yellow. Okay, clean off your brush, and we're going to do more than just one petal at a time, just as we've done in the past, because it doesn't need to just stay in the lines. So we're going to push down, and we're going to use the side of a brush, and we're going to come up. Just like that. Clean off your brush, we'll come in and do these ones. It's okay to leave some of them white. Not a problem at all. Clean off your brush. It doesn't, with this yellow one, because we're doing so much yellow in it, it doesn't necessarily need to be cleaned off every time, but we want to leave some of that white in there. We also want to take some of that yellow and really kind of add it to the center. Brighten that up. But leaving the center, actual center, white. If you wanted to, you could go in with a really, really diluted yellow in there, but I don't want to take away from the brightness. So we'll add a little bit of that in there, but very, very, very diluted. I'm going to take a couple dabs of the orange color that we've mixed just to pop it in there, because why not? We have some. Yeah, that looks good. All right, we're going to move on to this one here. This one's going to be orange. We're going to do pretty much orange on that one. The orange that we've mixed. So we're going to do a petal at a time here because they're a bit bigger. Orange that we mixed and orange just from the palette. Clean off your brush. Ooh, yes, that's great. Again, we'll go over here with the mixed orange and then straight orange from the palette. I'm working on an angle, but I'm going to flatten out my brush and push and use quite a bit of my brush to fill in that petal, just like that. And then next, over here, same thing going all the way around. I'm running out of my orange, so I gotta mix up a teeny bit more. Well, I'll probably use a little bit more orange anyway, so it's no big deal to mix that up. I'm gonna pop some of that in there. Just want a little bit more vibrance. And then straight orange again. Clean off your brush, don't forget that step. Oh yeah, that's juicy. Excellent. Gonna move some of this orange around a bit because it's pooling a little bit, but that's all good. And we're leaving the center of it white as well. I think that looks really awesome. So for this daisy, we're gonna use yellows. So we're gonna use the mixed yellow, lemon yellow. We're just gonna use yellows like crazy. Put a few dots of that lemon yellow down, our mixed yellow. We'll do the center in a very vibrant orange. Okay, so clean off your brush, and now we're just gonna go around, and it doesn't have to be perfect because that's not really my style, as you know. I think that looks really good. We're gonna put a little bit of that yellow with the orange in the center. Give it a pop. And then go into the center and dot some of those that mixed orange, dot it down in there and get that going on. Perfect. Our last flower up here, we're going to go in with the orange off of our palette. This one's a little flower, so you don't need much paint and you don't need much water. And we'll use the tip of our brush to give us more control. As opposed to flattening it out like I do on some of the bigger petals. So we're just going to use the tip and just get it touched down in there. Like so. The center will go in with that lemon yellow off of our palette and just dab a few bits of that in there. Right on. I think that's going to look pretty good. So some of this is drying a bit wonky. I just want to smooth out some of the harsh lines. So I'm just taking my clean brush and just blending out some of that where it's dried a bit too textured. I like some of the texture, just maybe not as much as it is, just because I put that really wet paint in the center down. That pretty much does it. That's the only one that had the problem. Okay, we're going to let everything totally dry up, and then we're going to go in and do our outlining with our black Micron pen. I forgot to say that at the beginning. With our supplies, number 01 Micron, that's what we're going to use, so grab that out. I'm going to start with our background foliage because it is dry. Everything else is drying pretty quickly, so by the time we're done these, we'll be ready to rock. So in your sketch, and now I can still see that there's the line work behind there. If you ever look at retro paintings, you will see that they are often outlined. You can see that. So I'm not going to get too abstract with my line work, as sometimes I can, because there's enough, it's going to be busy enough as it is. So go around and follow some of those lines that you put in there before. It's okay if they look organic. I just wouldn't get too wild with the details. So just going in and adding that line work in there to the foliage. If you want to add the double line, you can. I will, because I like that. But stick it close to what we already have down there. So we don't want to get too whimsical. We want to stay close to what we have, because there is line work already, quite a bit of the line detail in this part of it. But you do want it to still look like there is a double line there. It'll almost just look a little bit more, it'll look a little darker. Yes, I think that looks great. And you can make a little tail on that one if you want. All right, then we'll go over to this one here. And just the same as you've been doing. So I'm going to finish up these. And then we'll get on to the flowers, you guys. Beautiful. Now onto our flowers. This one's a little bit wet still because I touched it up, so we're going to do this one first. The center you can actually go around and do the circle through the center. I think that'll give it a bit more of the retro look. Yeah, I'm loving how that's looking, you guys. It's so cute. So it's always so good to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and try things that you wouldn't typically try. And for me, this is the greatest excuse because I have this wedding to go to, and of course I'm going to give them a handmade card. So this is a great little exercise with color and whatnot to just try something very different. And we'll start with this one in the center, and yeah. Now we're going to go on to this one here. When the paint is still a bit damp, hardly anything. Sometimes these don't work as great. That's why it's good to just let it totally dry, but I am not digging out the blow dryer on a day that it is already 30 degrees in my house. I'm just gonna have to wait this one out because it's really hot. So to add more movement into these, just the same as we did with this one down here, you can go in and add some movement where it looks like the petal is flipped over. Doesn't have to be on every single one. We can do this one. You can do it on a couple. You don't have to do it on any if you don't like it. I'm just going to do it on a few here. Yeah, looks cute. I like that. We'll move on to this one over here, to our daisy, and just the same as we've been doing, you guys. So I'm going to finish up these last few flowers here. You can do the same, and we'll connect when we're going to do the metallics. Done with that. So in our flowers, we're going to use this bright gold Speedball ink, and we're just going to go around and do highlights. I'm not going to go fill in the little gaps because we didn't do as loose outlining, so there's not as many gaps. We're just going to go through and do the highlighting, and this is where we're going to use the 10-0 liner brush. It's really nice for this, just adding in that little bit of detail, and of course we go and add sprinkles on after. Oh, this is looking so good in retro. I'm loving it. So yeah, we're just gonna go and do do those little highlights all around with this in the flowers. I love the brightness of this one. It's so pretty. Less is more, you know, you don't want to overdo it. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of rimmeries, and you just want to be putting some highlights in there to give that look of just a little extra detail, you know. It's just, why not? I think as I always say, I think we need a little bit more sparkle in our lives these days, so I'm adding it into my paintings. This one I'm not doing a whole big bunch, we'll splatter in there. So okay, that's good for that bright gold. And then we're going to do the gold Windsor and Newton into our foliage. It's just a little more muted. I think it'll be perfect for those. I didn't shake it up beforehand. These ones settle really, really well, so you've really got to shake it up. It definitely settles in quite drastically different than this gold Speedball. So, or dip your brush way down the bottom. And just the same, go in and add a little bit of the line work in there with these, and go around into the foliage and add just as much as you want, or as you know, if you follow my tutorials, do what parts you like, and if you don't like them, don't do them. So if it gets to be too much, something feels a little too much or a little too tacky or a little too detailed or whatever, stop where you like it. And that's fine. You're not offending me whatsoever. This is how you'll develop your own style and figure out what you like and what you don't like. So follow your heart and what you enjoy and don't enjoy, and then you'll come up with something really beautiful that you do love. So I think that's really important when it comes to art. Just don't feel limited by what just I'm doing there. Okay, that's all done. We got our highlights in there, enough of what we want and we need. I forgot, we're gonna need this bad boy for our splatters at the end. So I'm gonna concentrate the splatters here and then up and out. We're gonna use our number 1 script brush. This might be a number 2, I can't remember. Anyways, skinny one, but it holds just the right amount of ink on the end. This is the calligraphy ink. So yeah, we're gonna go in and start splattering in the center and outward. Just like that. It's kind of making a mess, but I think that looks good. So I'm going to take these off. I think that looks pretty retro. What do you guys think? Retro in my style. I think that's pretty good. I think it turned out awesome. Considering, whoa, I hadn't done a trial of it, and I just had this visual in my head of what I wanted it to come out as. And sometimes, you know, you want something to look a certain way and then it doesn't come out that way. Well, I love how this card turned out. It's so cute. So we're just gonna close it up when it's dry, and then it'll be the perfect little wedding card. I love it. I think it'll be perfect. They will absolutely love it. They're very down-to-earth people. It's gonna be a beautiful wedding. So again, there you have it, you guys. That's an easy way to do a quick card, the sketch and all, and then you can do this with all kinds of different colors and have a different outlook, like different look. So you can do it with muted colors, and you can do it with vibrant pinks and purples and have a totally different look. This does look a bit retro, to be honest, but if you use something with like pinks and turquoises and, you know, the nice green, you would end up having something that looks very summery and springy. And then if you had something with more browns and oranges, you'd have something that looks a bit more fall-like. So play around. This is just such a beautiful way to really explore paint, as with every single card that I do. I mean, even for me, I really love this. I think, oh, I might actually try it in a few different colors myself, because that's the way to really try new things, you know, and just have fun and play. Anyways, you guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video for me today. If you have any questions, as always, put them in the comments section. I thank you guys so much for watching and being part of this journey. It is so much fun for me, as I said in the very beginning. So thank you from the absolute bottom of my heart for joining me in this watercolor journey of mine. Honestly, I am growing so much as an artist just because of this channel and because of you guys. So thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like the video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, share it to the people that you know and love. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next tutorial.